I am honored to preside over this constituting meeting and to formally launch the Technical Review Group for the Draft National Science, Technology and Innovation Policy 2027-2035. This is not a routine administrative occasion. I want to take a few minutes to explain why. Where we have been and where we now stand. I think part of it was clearly expressed by my colleagues earlier on in their different submissions. When this ministry commissioned the summative evaluation of the National STI Policy 2015-2024, we asked for honesty rather than flattery, and the findings were humbling. None of the 12 core objectives were fully achieved. The cause was structural, no enacted legal framework, no operational funding mechanism, no national measurement system. Without law, coordination was informal. Without financing, the policy was a roadmap with no vehicle. Without measurement, we could not know whether we were advancing or standing still. The lesson was very clear. Law before strategy, financing before programs, coordination before content, measurement before claims of impact. But the same evaluation documented a decisive late period turning point, as the presentation rightly explained. Between 2022 and 2025, something materially changed. The narrative was enacted by the National Assembly. So USET emerged later as a center of excellence, supported by a $12 million World Bank investment that helped us to build USET, but it was not there before. The Unipod now, which will be inaugurating later after Ramadan at the USET, it wasn't there. So that one is thanks to UNDP, and also the UN Technology Bank entered a partnership with this ministry, and the UNDP Accelerator Lab has been active since 2019. The National STI Policy 2027-2035 does not start from zero, as you must have noticed. There's something being done. It starts from the strongest institutional foundation in Gambian STI history. So we were able to do something. But we thought that if we bring you together based on what we have drafted, with your different experience, you will be able to detect that there are certain things that we have not put there and needs to be there. And we will not know. And yet still we will be standing there thinking that we've done the best, when in actual our best is not the best. That's the reason why we open the doors. Like Dr. Lendy Wilfred Peters would say, open the gates for talents to come and help this country. And my colleagues here will bear me witness and agree that after listening to you, all of you with your background, say, look at this cream. We would have missed this opportunity. And that's the reason why it's a policy at Mohas. Whenever a key decision is to be taken, we must listen to people outside Mohas. Because it's not about Mohas. We do not represent the Gambia. This is a national document. And today we are here. Some of you who are in other agencies, whether in public institutions or in private, tomorrow some of you might come here. So it is important for us to open the gates, and so that you will now help us pontificate and come up with something tangible, something strong. This is the method of Mohas. I know people do praise us here and there, but this is the approach. It is anything that is developed, it is not only done in-house. We engage experts, and all of you with your diverse backgrounds, if you now sit down and look at a national document, and when you are ready with it, nobody will add a comma there. Define success: 150 researchers per million inhabitants, 450 peer-reviewed publications annually, 40% fixed broadband penetration, 50% female researchers, 30 or more NARIF-supported patents, NARIF disbursements at 0.15% of GDP, and so on and so forth. We are not setting targets we cannot meet. We are setting targets we must meet, because the cost of another decade of partial achievement is a cost the Gambia cannot afford. It's time for action, no longer theory. For a long time, we insisted more on the theory. Now it's action. We must see what we are talking about. And Gambian people out there, the youths coming up now, they don't have that patience to listen to Prof. Gomez, promising them about what is to come. They are in a hurry to see what we are talking about. That's the new Gambia for you. So our generation must respond to Fanon, that we must fulfill the mission. We cannot postpone our development. And UTG staff and students remember the mantra, that development is now. It cannot be postponed. So we cannot fail this mission. I reminded another group somewhere that all what we are doing, if you go back to history, Nkrumah talked about it in the early 60s. And you imagine now, how many years now? Up till now we are talking about these issues. How come that Nkrumah saw it in the early 60s and no action been done? As if we, as I always say, we handed over our country to other people, and then we went to another planet. Now, on our return, we noticed that for the Gambia, after 61 years, nothing has moved. Here we are. We cannot continue. And we count on you, because we have the strong belief that this group can really make those changes. Come up with those pronouncements, and come up with the strategies to address those issues. What I ask of this technical review group: this policy has been drafted with care and grounded in extensive evidence. And yet a policy is not complete until it has been tested by minds that approach it from the outside, by experts who did not write it, who have no investment in its current formulation, and who are willing to ask the hard questions. Is this financially credible? Legally coherent? Huh? Tune. So, Prof. Gomez is talking here and there and so on. Yeah, but is it legally coherent? Institutionally realistic? Are the KPIs genuine measures of progress? Because we cannot also camouflage things. Just to want people to be happy, and we come up with something that is not realistic. You know, so you as the experts should be able to make that pronouncement on behalf of the Gambian people. Whatever is not realistic, now come up with solutions. And it must respond to all the issues that we talked about. I want rigor. I want independence. If a pillar is under-resourced, say so. If a KPI is unmeasurable, say so. If a sequencing assumption is unrealistic in the Gambian context, say so. This government is taking a great deal on this policy. Development partners are preparing financing commitments conditioned on their credibility. The National Assembly will be asked to enact legislation giving it statutory authority. That trust is not earned by producing a document that says the right things. It is earned by producing one that does the right things. Saying and doing. We as a country prefer the doing, not the saying, but doing the right thing. For our part, you will have access to every document and every official you need. Your findings will be taken seriously and reflected in the policy before it proceeds to Cabinet, and for the bill later to the National Assembly, but after going through a national validation process, among others. I will read the Chair's Week 3 progress update personally. And once enacted, we will fund this policy. And this trajectory and NARIF capitalization schedule are commitments, not aspirations. And the NARIF has already kick-started. That is our formal declaration of constitution. To the members of the technical review group, you have been appointed in your individual expert capacity based on your knowledge, experience, and independence. And when you took the floor, it was very clear that these people, they know what they are doing. That these people, they have the right to be in this room. They are in the right place. You have accepted that appointment and the obligations set out in the terms of reference. This ministry commits in return, on behalf of His Excellency, President Adama Barrow, to provide full documentary and institutional support and to ensure your conclusions are properly reflected in the policy. It is now my honor, in my capacity as Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, and on behalf of the Constitution of the Gambia, Article 81, to make the following declaration. By the authority vested in me as Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology of the Republic of the Gambia, and pursuant to the terms of reference issued by this ministry on 27 February 2026, I hereby formally declare that the Technical Review Group for the National Science, Technology and Innovation Policy 2027-2035 is hereby constituted and formally launched with effect from today, Wednesday, 11 March 2026. The review period of 6 to 8 weeks runs accordingly. The members of the TRG are commissioned to carry out their mandate with the independence, integrity, and diligence that the national importance of this policy demands. May God guide your deliberations and bless your service to this nation. I thank you for your time, your commitment, and your service to the Republic of the Gambia. God grant us success.